Okay, so this week's discussion is about space and the two performances you've seen that and how they use the space. Um, One of the first performances I've seen was called Urinetown. It was in a small theater, very small space. Only had one place to go backstage, but it worked, and I got to sit in the front row and I mean, there was a much more intimate relationship between the performers and the audience. Obviously, they were right up there. You could sit right up there with them, and they used the space really well. The blocking was great. There was even some choreography, but it was a very small stage and just a very intimate relationship between the actors and the audience, and it was an excellent play. Um, The other, I'd like to compare that to maybe one of the Broadway plays I've seen. I recently saw one with Helen Mirren. I forget exactly what it was called, but a much bigger stage, much less intimate relationship. Obviously, Helen Mirren's very famous, and I had to sit up in the top row. Wasn't nearly as close as I was when I got to see her in town. Um, but they also use the space very well. But there's I think a much different relationship when there's when you have a giant Broadway play like that, and then an off Broadway play where you can sit in the front row and see the actors' faces, and they can see your faces and see your reactions to everything. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. On the topic of whether I'd be a groundling at a Shakespeare play, definitely not. I definitely would rather, although I did like the intimate relationship, I would definitely rather sit up in the balcony and see everything that's going on instead of just the front row. Yeah.